Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sabi Talks. And this is Sabi. Today I'm with Purple Leen, known as Mona. And today we're going to be talking about mental health. We're going to be talking fitness journeys, bike journeys, struggles. Now, we're going to talk about a lot of things. So thank you for listening. I appreciate you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy. So, yeah. So I want to talk about what are you really passionate about? Because I know you also do fitness, right? You're a
Yeah.
trainer.
Yes.
That's really big because that's something that you've wanted to do to help other people.
Okay. Well, first, my name is Moana. You might know me on Instagram as Purple Leen. I do ride. I am a personal trainer and I've been certified for about 6 years now. I worked in the gym for about a year. So I have a year of gym experience, which really helps me a lot with working with clients and cues and just being confident enough to like instruct someone and tell them what to do, and have them be confident in me and trust me enough to know what I'm doing, guide them, right, to help them reach their goals. So,
You had to get a certification for that?
yes, yeah, you got to get certified. You got to take tests and exams. And depending which certification you get, every year or every 2 years, you have to take courses and earn 10 to 20 credits to recertify. So that's the good thing I
Okay.
think about being in that field, because you have to constantly keep up with the times and new things and, I guess things that are, what is the word, discovered along the way, you know,
So you said
and
credits. You mean college?
it's like college, but it's CEU, so it's continued education credits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or
Okay. I didn't know that.
yeah,
So
so
then, so I assume you have to know everything about fitness then, right? Like the body and like everything that comes with, fitness and stuff like that, right? I
yeah,
assume
so
you're very educated on all that then.
I mean, I
Sure.
would like to think so. It's just, when you take a course and you're going through all the textbook material and, you're trying to absorb all the information. So got like from anatomy, like
Yeah.
body parts and organs and where they're located and names and, all this technical stuff that does come in handy sometimes even.
Yeah,
But
no.
I think for me, I absorb and keep what I'm interested in. So if it's boring to me, like I do kind of lose it and I got to refresh myself with
Mm-hmm.
those materials, over time, especially with the research. You got to know, you got to be able to answer the questions on the exam. So you can't forget everything.
Yeah. No, that's for sure. That's a lot of studying, I can assume you too. A lot. There's a
Yeah,
lot that goes into that, actually. There's a lot that
it
goes into that. So why though? Why did you start doing that in the beginning? Like, what made you want to get into that? Because not everybody can do that. It's a commitment, that's for sure.
It definitely is. Well, initially, I was overweight myself. Like, I had kids and, I had a hard time, like, getting back to what I was before pregnancy. It's super hard. I mean, it's indescribable how hard it is. And it was years that I was just, on my own trying to figure out, like, okay, the shortcuts that you see with taking supplements or like appetite suppressors or, just the fad type of things. Like I tried everything and, sometimes you lose weight, but as soon as you stop that trend, then you gain it all back. So
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
so as far as why, it was because I had such a hard time by myself trying to figure it out. And one day my friend started working out with me because, of course she wanted to lose weight too. And after she worked out with me a couple times, she was like, you should be a trainer because you're so good at it. So I it gave me a little boost and we want to actually try. So I kind of just not really seriously looked into it. I slowly made my way to looking into how do I become a personal trainer. Of course, it was a certification that's needed and you can go get the certification, if you pass the test, of course, without doing anything extra, but you do have to have all that knowledge. But what I did was I took like a whole college course at Penn Foster and that helped me, like, because if I didn't have that and I went and took this test, I would have no idea what
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. You gotta take those classes. I mean, the only way you're gonna actually pass it. And there's a lot of studying that goes with it, as well as your own part that you gotta do too.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I went with a self-guided course.
Hmm.
I mean, it did have a time limit. I believe it was like 18 months was the limit where,
Hmm.
you gotta finish this textbook material in 18 months and go take the test.
Yeah. How long did it actually take you to like do all that though? Like, well, actually, like the journey that you went on, I guess, you know.
Like the weight loss part or
Yeah,
the,
the weight loss journey, because a lot of people get impatient, and that's where a lot of people give up. Because there's a lot of things that go into it. Where when, like, for example, people say that if you weight yourself or whatever, and you see that you have gained weight, but you're actually gaining muscles and stuff like that, and like people get like, oh, but I'm not losing weight, I'm not doing this and that, like
Mhm.
so because that's people get frustrated easily, because even a month of work, like you probably only lose like a couple pounds, and people just get frustrated, like, oh, this is not gonna work. I've been doing it for a month straight, and people just give up.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you're right. You're
yeah,
so For me it was years. And then so when I
yeah,
started looking into the personal training thing, that's when I learned, like, going through the course. After the anatomy part, of course, that was so boring. Like the
mhm,
vocab anatomy was so boring. But after that, then it got into the information about, nutrition and exercises and the different types of exercises. And as far as like the weight, the number on the scale, I mean, overall, it does, it does matter because it's your BMI. No
yeah,
matter if it's fat or muscle, if you're too heavy for your height and your heart got to pump all the blood through this mass of body, right? So it
that's
doesn't
true.
matter
Yep.
if it's fat. Like, you can be too muscular and your heart can't handle your body because it's too big.
Really?
Yeah, yes.
That
That's
I
why
didn't know.
um, you know, muscular guys, they end up having heart attacks because the heart can't supply enough blood to all of this body.
Yeah. No,
So
that that makes
you could,
sense.
yeah, you could be too heavy fat wise, or you could be too heavy muscular wise.
And BMI means,
Body mass index.
got it. So that's how you measure, like your levels.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and so I'm not gonna lie, when I was overweight and I was looking at this chart, I was like, that's so ridiculous. I'm
Mhm.
never gonna be that light.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, but it really is a guide. I don't want to say like the numbers are so strictly set, that you should be like by the 1 pound off and you're totally overweight. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be
Hmm.
that, but it's just a guideline to, okay, you should be around this weight.
Yeah, no. Man, you're making me think about everything that because I had a fitness journey when I went to college. Because I went to college for criminal justice, right? I wanted to become a cop. So
Mhm.
I was doing everything. I was going to the gym. I was trying to eat healthy, meal prepping. I was doing everything, and I was in a healthy weight. Um, and I just remember, oh my God, the journey that I had to go through that. And like sometimes it gets really stressful, and then you can stress eat as well. Um, there's emotional eating, and that's something that I've struggled since, like, who knows when. But emotional eating is something that I've always struggled, especially because of my mental health. When I was going through, depression and anxiety, all that, when you add that together, this is just a jumble. Like, sometimes you food makes people happy, right? And that's where people lose control, right? They just want to eat, and that's the emotional eating. And yeah, so when I was going through all that, I was stressful, and I know the journey is not easy. It is to stay committed, and like you have to like keep pushing yourself, and like telling yourself, you got this, or don't eat too much of this. Don't even like
Yeah,
it's hard. It
yeah,
is hard.
it's a mental game, like
It's a
daily.
mental game. Yeah.
Yeah, daily. You got
Exactly.
to fight that voice in your head telling you it's okay.
No, I know.
It's okay not to work out.
Yeah. No, yeah. No, I remember it. But now, after my accident, right? It's been 9 months now, right? It's 9 months about now. I've tried, I'm going continue again doing meal prepping. I'm starting going to the gym again. So I'm really excited about that. I've actually lost like 4 pounds since then. So that's really good. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm all for this. I'm doing this. I want to go back to where I was, and even though you can lose the weight and everything, I've noticed a lot of videos 'cause I see a lot of like weight loss journeys and like on Instagram and like TikTok or whatever. But sometimes it's the body dysmorphia gets to you, and it made me realize when I was back then when I was a little bit skinnier, not not too skinny, but when I was their average, I would always tell myself, oh no, I'm too overweight and I'm doing this and that. And I'll just like now that I look at myself from comparing myself from now to where I was back then, I'm like, you didn't even look that bad. You know what I'm saying? And it's like body dysmorphia is like I feel like a lot everybody almost experiences it in their entire life, right? Like it's like you judge yourself. We literally judge ourselves so much, right? And about our looks, because this and that. Like I got a little bump of acne and whatever.
Yep.
Man, body dysmorphia, like that is I think that's one of the biggest problems that I think society, especially teenagers now, because of like you like constantly are comparing yourself to other people.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest struggles we're facing for sure. And
Yeah.
just that mental game again, right? If you have that type of mentality, you're easily gonna get depressed, right? You're
Correct.
gonna just you're just like you're just gonna build yourself, right? You kind of do this to yourself in that mental game. You kind of have to beat it, and that's why I always tell people that you have to like rewire your brain and how you think, especially if you think a certain way for so many years, it is so hard to take that mentality off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is because when you try over and over again and then you don't succeed, you just feel like F it, right?
Yeah.
I might as well just enjoy myself and be comfortable.
Yeah.
But
Exactly. Let me eat this bucket of ice cream.
yeah, nothing's changing. Let me just do what I
Yeah.
just continue on, right? But you're right though, it is. It's such a I was just telling my client the other day. It's almost like you gotta be obsessed with it. You gotta be
Yeah.
obsessed with your goal because you can't let anyone or anything convince you to not do what you gotta do to get to that goal. And we know what we
Yeah.
gotta do. We know that we shouldn't be eating this and that or so much of
Yeah.
this. We know we should go walk or go to the gym or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
something tells us inside that that's okay if just one time we,
Yeah.
don't
Let
do
me
it.
cheat. I'll do it next week. I'll do it like in the beginning of next week. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you
Yeah.
think happens
That's
then,
true.
right? Your goal is just getting farther and farther. Like, you're gonna take longer to get there. So
Yeah.
you just get obsessed. It's like every day you wake up, that voice in your head, you shut it down and you turn it
Mm-hmm.
around and you tell yourself, no, I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do today to get closer to the goal.
Yeah. That's true. And I think one of the biggest problems, especially in America, I don't know how it goes in Europe or whatever, but what I see is the lifestyle that we have in America, it consists of working and making money constantly, right? We're working like 8 to 12 hours a day, right? And the one thing that we do, oh, we don't have enough time to cook, or we can't meal prep. I don't have time. I'm too tired. I gotta deal with the kids. I gotta do this and that. We're all busy, right? But the thing is that fast foods, right? That I feel like that is the biggest problem that we're facing in this country, where like obesity, obviously that's an issue in this country, right? And that's what it is. We're so stressed. We're eating so much fast food because it's like, oh, it's right there. I'll just go 5 minutes, pick it up. This isn't that. And I feel like the lifestyle that we have to make sure we can like add a little time for ourselves to like take care of our own body. Cause trust me, well, in this country here, like the lifestyle is just work and work and work, and you're stressful. We get it. We're tired. And, if you can easily just lose yourself with that, you
You
know,
can.
I remember when I was working like 45 hours a week, and I was just tired. I'm like, I don't even want to go home and cook and do nothing like that. I always had a Burger King in a corner because I would walk home. So I was like, I would just walk, and the Burger King was right in the corner, and I would go like, I can't even remember how many times, but I would constantly go for a Whopper, do this and that, and that's where I like lost it. Like I was just gaining so much weight because of that. And
Yeah.
just because it's reliable, like not reliable, more like it's right there, it's just no, it didn't work out.
And but then see, as you went, like however, 1 day, 2 days or whatever, nothing was happening. You were just enjoying the burger, right?
Yep, yep. Yeah.
It's nothing changed, nothing happened. So it's like the same thing in reverse when it comes to working out. Like you go work out today, you're not going to see anything change.
Mhm.
But you go every day or however many times you were going to get Burger King, you go that many times and over a course of time, you'll see the difference.
It's easier to gain the weight and then harder to lose the weight. So this is how it goes. That's just how it goes.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it too, like there's a couple of things with the fast food, like I always preach is I feel like what is in it, like whatever preservatives are in it is what's affecting us because your body has like a defense mechanism. So something foreign enters, right? And what's
Mhm.
body's gonna try to like protect itself from it. So it's gonna form
Exactly.
fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it.
I've heard actually. Sorry to cut you off, but I've heard about like fast foods in other countries being way more healthier than America's.
Yes, me too.
Right? I feel like I've heard like, well, in Japan, right? Because I see people, whatever. That's a different topic. But anyway, in Japan, I see people like they're like, oh yeah, I'm eating so much and I don't like I'm not even gaining any weight because the stuff that they have in that food is just like it's not what we have here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's much more healthier over there than here than what it is here. You
Exactly.
know?
In
So
fact, I had a client that went to France and she ate nothing but croissants and cheese. Everything I tell her not to eat, not
all
to eat.
carbs, all carbs.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she can gain a pound. She said she ate, she didn't really like restrict herself, right? It was just more fresh, more natural. And I think
Mhm.
I've seen something too with the school lunches for the kids, where in other countries they had a much more overall healthy lunch. Like the plate was made of, the proteins, the
Yeah.
carbs, vegetables. Like it was
Yeah.
Japan, Europe, China. Like everybody had better lunches than our American kids.
So I have a question for you, right? What do you think about people buying frozen foods? Would you consider that more healthier, like ready to be made, like throw it in the microwave or in the oven or whatever? Would you consider that? Because obviously people want to like instead of like going out constantly going to like, fast foods or whatever, you go to the supermarket and you grab like, that frozen food. Or like actually I was doing some research. What's that called? Lean cuisine?
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Does that actually work? Because I was doing some research on it and like everything was good, right? But once you get to the sodium, it's like 1,000 grams of sodium.
Yeah, because isn't that like part of like preserving it?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they do, right? Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think, I mean, but I want to say though that that will still be better than having junk food or,
True. True.
having fast food. Like I still think that our own frozen food would be better than theirs.
Yeah. True. Yeah, true.
So I guess if you pay attention to the label, maybe you could look for the one with the least sodium.
The least sodium. I feel like even like have you heard of Factor? You keep seeing that ad on Instagram called Factor.
No.
So there's like this new popular, like a lot of influencers are doing it now. But like Factor is like a new company where they ship you food that's already like cooked and whatever. And like, they ask you what's your weight and what's your goal. Like, do you want to lose weight? Whatever. Like those type of stuff. Those companies that send you food at home, right? That you can just throw in the microwave. I want to do that so bad, but it's like, but the sodium levels are always so high, right? And like, that is something that I'm scared of because my family runs with diabetes and cholesterol, like all that. Like my family has it, so it's like I don't want to increase the risk of it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm eating my Taco Bell every once in a while, but that's a different story. But but yeah, like it's just like I think now that I'm trying to change around my food because I would always have frozen foods or I'll just go get fast food real quick, like a little small, a bowl from Taco Bell or whatever, because that's something I love from there, right? But like I want to start doing like more homemade cooked food because it's so much healthier, right? And like what you're putting into what you're putting into the food, your chicken or whatever it is. Now you know what you're putting in there,
Yes,
So
exactly. Exactly. Best way to go.
best way to go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's for sure.
I mean, because I've done that too, where what I would do is, and I still do the vegetables, I'll make like a whole bunch of roasted vegetables and I'll just make it al dente. So when I go to reheat it, it doesn't get overcooked, but
Mm-hmm.
make like, like 3 or 4 days worth of that. And whatever I eat for, lunch and dinner, I'll just have that as the side. So I know I'll have my vegetables
Yeah.
and not have to go like with rice or
Yeah.
something less healthy,
Yeah.
less nutritious, we'll say. Because I think that's something they teach us in the course with the nutrition part
Mm-hmm.
is anything might seem like it's not as good. Like if you make your own burger at home,
Mm.
it might seem like, oh, well, isn't that the same if I go get it at the restaurant or the fast food place? I mean, not really, because like you said, you know exactly what went into it.
But exactly.
And
No,
then
that's true.
with making like multiple days of it, you could get bored, right? So
Yeah.
you got to kind of mix it up. Like I would do maybe at the most like 3 or 4 days at a time worth of whatever you're prepping.
That's what it comes with meal prepping. With a
Yeah.
lot of people get bored of the food that they made.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta mix it up. I've like today I started doing some like meal prepping, so I made some like pasta and like some chicken, but then what I did is I did different types of flavors of chicken so I don't get bored of it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah. So yeah, I'm taking this serious. I need to lose some weight, man.
Yeah. And that 4 pounds was that in a month? The 4 pounds?
I believe so, yeah. Cause right
Yeah.
before cause yeah, before I started going to the gym, I started like, not eating crazy no more. Um, but there's just so many methods that you can do in order to lose weight, right? Fasting, right? Or you can stop eating before 6 o'clock. Some people do that, right? Like they only eat from what, 12 to 6 or something like that, right? Is that fasting?
Yeah.
Yeah, fascinating. I wanted to start doing that, but because I wake up at 4:30, I'm always hungry during like 10, like 9 o'clock. I want to have something in my system.
Right.
So yeah, I try to just I buy those granola bars or the protein bars, and like I have that in the morning. Because I remember I used to buy those frozen like bacon egg and cheese bagels, the little small ones, and I would have that every morning. I'm like, no, this is not good no
You can
more.
tell it's not good, right?
Yeah, I'm like, even though it's not filling, but it's like it's your brain as well, right? Because in your mind, a lot of people eat until they're full, until they can't even eat no more. And
Yeah.
and that's another issue. Like people
That's
just
the
eat,
problem.
eat, eat, eat until they're bloated, right? And I
That is the
used
problem.
to be like that. And I had to stop doing it. I'm like, yo, I gotta chill because, you know, you feel nasty. You feel like a ball, right?
I was gonna say that's another thing I tell my clients when you binge eat, right? Eat till you're like you're full already, but there's still food in front of you, so you're gonna continue to keep eating it. And what happens is you think about that now, your stomach bag is it's filling up, it's taking in so much food, and you're satisfied, but you're still putting more food in it. So it's just stretching the bag more inside. And next time you go to eat or whatever down the line, you got to fill that bag up again. And
Yeah,
it's bigger now because you just
yeah,
stretched it. You ate so
yeah,
much. Now it's taking more to get you satisfied. And, over
yeah.
time,
That's
you're
true.
just going to gain.
No, that is absolutely true. And even people as well, like sometimes they don't eat anything throughout the day, and then comes like 3, 4 o'clock, right? Right before, when you're having dinner or whatever, and they just eat like hell a ton of food, right? They
Yeah.
put lunch, dinner, they put everything in one plate, and I used to do that, right? And it made me realize that that was just not it, because it's just like I'm just ruining my body at that point, right? It's not even healthy. You should have some type of food in your system in the morning, because doesn't that like also help with metabolism, something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
they say it's the most important meal of the day, breakfast, right?
Breakfast,
And,
yeah.
depending on your schedule, breakfast can be at
Mhm.
any time. It's when you
Yeah.
wake up or sleep, like, your
Mhm.
brain fast. That's why it's called breakfast.
Mhm. So
And
what do you think
so,
about people replacing coffee with their food in the morning? A lot of people do that. They just get
yeah,
their morning coffee, right? Go to Starbucks.
because you're so busy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it would be good to at least put like something, like a bagel or a wheat toast or some kind of substance in there. So you're
Yeah.
not starving, like you said, waiting till lunchtime and then binging at
Hmm.
that time and then dying and being lazy because you're so full.
Hmm. True.
Like a domino effect just
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah. No, I agree. So start getting more than just a Starbucks drink. For those
Yeah.
people that love Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts.
Just something small with it, you know.
Yeah, something small with it for sure. Oh, I know so many people that are addicted to coffee. Jesus, it is crazy. Like they would have their 5, 6 cups of coffee. Oh man,
Oh,
it's
that's a
like an
lot.
energy drink. Oh yeah,
That's
that's
a lot.
normal,
I never
especially
that.
college life. Oh my God, I would know all the classmates every day. Coffee, coffee. Oh, before class, coffee. After class, coffee. Oh my God.
I kind of imagine. Like I thought
Yeah.
I was because I'll have one, and you know, some once in a great while I'll have a second one, depending on what's going on. But usually I
Yeah.
only have one, and then I will if I'm gonna work out, I'll have like a pre workout. But I usually like a whole. I'll dilute my pre workout and not the whole thing, you know. So
I stopped having coffee just because it made me very jittery. It made me just like jump a lot, or my anxiety would kick in,
yeah,
and it would just affect me really bad. So I stopped having coffee. And actually, I don't even have energy drinks either.
that's
Man, can we just talk about how Red Bulls and Monsters and energy drinks are just like all over bikes content and stuff with like, oh my God, these people are fiends with Red Bulls.
they're adrenaline junkies, so they gotta
Man,
go at it.
they're like, oh yeah, I'm on my fifth Red Bull today. And I'm like,
That's
bro, you're
great.
gonna freaking die of a heart attack on that bike, bro.
That's crazy. And you're not even like working out or anything. The last time I had a Red Bull, I was actually at a concert. And this was many years ago now. Okay, many, many years ago.
Mm.
And that was the last time I had a Red Bull. I had the Red Bull, but I also did have an alcoholic beverage, just one.
Not driving or riding, just chilling
And
responsibly.
after I drank the Red Bull, I fainted. I
Really?
black fainted, yeah. And at that time in my life, I was still going out and I was drinking. Like I wasn't like a heavy partier type of drinker or anything, but I would have like a couple drinks. I wasn't fainting every time I drank, so I
Mhm.
figured it was the Red Bull. That was the only time I had it, and that after that, I never had it again, and then I never experienced the blackout ever again. So I don't know what it was about the Red Bull, but it was not for me.
Damn, damn. So touching a little bit about bikes, right? So obviously you started riding. When did you start riding? Like how long ago? You've been riding for a while.
It was about 18 years ago when I learned to ride.
18 years ago.
Yeah, I learned on a dirt bike. My friends had dirt bikes. I don't know what it was. I just had this dream. Like I had a Gixxer, picture of a black Gixxer. I hung it on my desk at work, and that was like my
Really?
time. Yeah, I think I was 26 around there, 25 or 26. And
Oh wow.
that was, yeah, I was so focused like on that goal. And I had my friends teach me on the dirt bike. I ate it, like I crashed. I throttle, what is that word? Whiskey throttle?
You whiskey throttle, yeah.
Yeah. So I flew up in
Oh
the
man. Wait,
crash.
that happens when you panic, right? When you're
Yeah,
like panicking?
yeah. And I didn't know what I
Yeah.
was doing at first, right? I was just learning the friction zone of the clutch and throttle.
Yeah.
I totally released the clutch and grabbed the throttle and just took off and hit like a bump, and the bike went up in the air and I flew, and
Yeah.
a huge purple bruise like that big on my legs. That was
Some
where I
people
learned
give up there. Some people just give up.
through that. True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got back up. I got right back up, dirt in my teeth, dirt all over me, and right back. Like I was like, nope, this dream is not dying here. Like we're still going. So yeah, I did that. Then I took the class, the MSF course. Got my first bike. It was a ZX6R 2005. So beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, and I rode that for like 3 years. Not as much as I ride this bike though now. Like I was
Yeah.
still, I guess when you're new, you're not like just wanting to, everywhere I go now, I gotta ride. Like it don't
Right.
matter. I go to the store, I'm gonna ride down the road, I'm riding there.
When you
But
get that bike, you just wanna take it everywhere.
yeah,
Even to work, everything. You want to do everything with it. Like even if it's a close ride, like a close location, I'm gonna take my bike.
yeah, I gotta go to Walmart. I'm bringing a backpack. I only can
Yeah.
fit in.
Good times. Good times. And sometimes you're like you buy so many things you can't even fit in the backpack. Like I'm gonna make this work somehow. Yeah, it reminds me, of all the moments that I had with my bike when I first got it, and like when I got the Ninja 400, I bought it first, right? So I took the F course before I bought it. So because I didn't want to look like an idiot on the class and like on the road or whatever over there. So like I taught myself in my driveway. I'm like back and forth, walking the bike, freaking the friction control, all that stuff, right? And yeah, and I passed on the first try. It was good. My experience though, in my class, there was one person, two people that failed actually. Um, yeah, so two people failed, and yeah, I did everything so good, right? But then what got hard was the figure eights, right?
Yeah.
And then what was it? There was another thing that I was struggling with. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? I forgot. Oh, the weaving on the cones and then the hard stops. Because I was scared of stopping my bike really, really hard, like pressing those front brakes really hard. And I remember got to the final test, the final exam where they test every single skill, right? And I messed up so many times to the point where I was like, yo, I'm gonna fail. I'm actually gonna fail. And like I think they give you like two tries or two, three tries on every skill. Well, that's what they did it over here. Oh my God, I passed. I passed. And I'm like, oh my God, this is such a relief. Like I was so close to failing because your nerves get you
Yeah. Everybody's
on those
you.
courses. And you
Everybody's
learn on a small bike too.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
use their
learn.
bike, the little
Yeah,
250. Yeah.
250. Nah, I run on a Grom or NZ something from
Oh
Kawasaki.
wow.
Yeah, I'm like this big kid on a small bike, and I'm like, what am I doing here? Like I learned on a Ninja 400, not on a Grom, you know. So actually, I wanted to. So you wanted to ride because you learn on the dirt bike, right? There was a dream of yours to be riding right on the bike. Damn. So till this day, look at you. You're just growing.
Yeah.
That's good. Wow.
Yeah. I've come a long way with that. Like, I guess confidence wise, I think that's the biggest thing with writing is
Yeah.
when you are not confident. Like when you first start off, you're not that I mean, there's some people who get confident really quickly, I guess, and that's another story. But
Yeah.
I did drop my first bike too, but at a like stop. I was just in the parking lot, like exiting. So it was like a slow
A slow
drop.
maneuver. That's
Yeah.
what happens. A lot of beginners, they're scared of putting throttle on the bikes. So obviously you're gonna fall if you're not putting, if you're not moving, right? You know, the bike's not gonna stand on itself, So, you have
Exactly.
to, in order for the bike to be literally straight up, you have to put gas. You have to put throttle on it, right? And a lot of beginners are scared of doing that, and that's why most of them drop the bike.
Yeah. Too
Yeah,
slow.
you're going too
It's fun.
slow. You gotta go a little
You,
faster.
you kind of you look back at it later on and you realize like, oh
Hmm.
yeah, like I was too scared, I was going too slow. But what happened with me too, exactly where I front brake in a turn. So I was exiting the parking lot, turning right, and then I hesitated. There was no car coming. I don't know why. I just
Hmm.
hesitated and I just front brake and bike went instantly down because your front wheel is turned, so no matter what, you're gonna go down if you brake.
Yeah, I've dropped my bike. My first time ever. It was a long ride. It was a 2 hour ride. We were gonna go to Montauk, the tip of Long Island, all out east. And I remember my friend, he was experienced, right? He was an experienced rider, so he was just, he's cutting those corners and like, so he cut a barricade, right? He went right between it, and I was like, "Am I gonna fit in this?" And I wasn't really sure, and so I went around it, and I didn't see gravel on the floor. And oh my God, I remember my bike slid out and I just rolled. And I remember when I got up, there was like a hell of a ton of people just looking at me. And I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? And I'm like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing.
Yeah, right, I feel you.
Oh my God. I'll never forget that first shop. And then, yeah, I was like, and I scratched it and I left it because I was like, you know what, this is gonna be like a souvenir. This is my first shop ever. So I left it and everything. And yeah, so that was my first shop ever. And then I
That was
didn't
the
drop it at all until like another year. I decided it was a smart idea to stop on top of a hill. Oh my God.
shoot.
So I stopped and I was like, I was rolling down and I'm like, no, 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 no. And I just went to the side. I'm like, because I'm not going to roll down the street.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh
yeah.
my
So
God. That was the
I
ninja
remember
though.
it.
Both of
That was
those.
the Ninja. That was the Ninja. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Aprilia. Oh my God, I'm even embarrassed to say this. I forgot to put the kickstand down when I had the bike up when I was trying to put stop on it. Oh my God. That's such a biker beginner move. Like we just drop the bike, right? You have it on that little to pick it up, right? And then we just drop it and we forget that we don't have a kickstand on. And I
Mm-hmm.
dropped my Aprilia. I haven't even rode it. It was like a week old, and I dropped it in my garage. And I'm like,
Nah,
no, I know, I didn't even ride it, bro. Like, oh man, I was stressing.
I
But
do have a fear. I have a fear of that. So I do. I look down at it like, okay, stop.
exactly, you got it.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, yeah. I started riding right back in 2022, the end of 2022. Yeah, yeah, the end of 2022. And I started writing right because of mental health, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to therapy beforehand, right? And I was having a very difficult time trying to find a purpose in a way. I was going to school, I graduated, and then I had a change of heart. I didn't want to do my career that I wanted anymore. So I didn't have really like anything that was motivating me to do something. So I was like, oh, what do I want to do now? And like this and that. When you are in your own thoughts and when you're like don't have anything that you're looking forward to, you get lost. You don't know what you want to do. You have no purpose. You get depressed, and you go through all these stuff. And so when I was like, I'm not really in a good stage, and I look for help. And I always tell everybody that because my content is all about mental health and stuff, and like I talked a lot about my feelings. I always get DMs like, "Oh my God, like, I appreciate you, posting about this, and like I can relate so much to it." And some of them talk about, well, like, I haven't, I haven't cut myself in like or self harm or whatever, like in so long because of this, and like this motivates me, this and that, and stuff like that. And I always tell everybody that therapy is so important. I thought that it wasn't worth it. I thought it was not gonna work. It's a waste of time and money. And yeah, and I always tell everybody, give it a chance because you just
Yeah.
don't know what you're gonna find, right? And
I agree.
damn, I mean, it has helped me so much. It made me find my repurpose. And my therapist was like, why don't you try something new? Why don't you do something that you've never done, get out of your comfort zone, do this and that, right? I'm like, you're right. You're right. And I'm going to get a bike. So I
Did
was
you know
like,
that road at that time, or it was just something on your own that you went?
actually, I was just like, it actually came on TikTok, right? Because back then there was a bike talk and a book talk,
I
you
see.
know, the mosh pit, like the mat. And like they were like, I was seeing all these bikers and this, and I'm like, this looks really cool. What if I
Yeah.
learned this and that, and yeah, I gave it a chance. And damn, I can't for me to even say I'm close to 20,000 followers, or like I've reached hundreds of thousands of views. Like to even just say that coming from someone who didn't think I would be like a nobody and like I would never find my purpose and stuff, it's
Yeah.
crazy to
Yeah.
even think that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like just take a chance, right? Because you never
Exactly.
know what's gonna happen.
Exactly. I agree
Yeah,
with that. You don't know unless you try.
exactly. You find yourself through different journeys that maybe it might not be your journey, right? Maybe you take a path in life that you're trying to experiment new things, and maybe it's not for you, right? After some time, whatever. But that's just how life is, right? You
Good.
take these journeys and you learn more about yourself, and you grow, and that's just how it is, right? Life is all trial and error, right? That's how you learn and how you grow.
And yeah,
Yeah.
you pursue the things that you like and what you want to be, I guess.
Yeah, and ever since then it's been history. Doing merch drops, and like, like I'm just like I have so many more visions that I want to do with this, and hopefully, like they always say, you stay committed, consistent, and you'll definitely see results. And,
Yeah.
you'll see results for sure. Yeah, that's for anything in life. When it comes to
Exactly.
fitness or your career goals, you never
Exactly.
give up. You keep pushing, because I've seen people that they just give up after one try, and that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's important to keep pushing for sure.
it is. I saw a quote actually that said, "A successful person is just a person who failed and decided to try again,"
Mm-hmm.
which is
That's
so
true.
true with everything,
Yeah.
like you said.
Yeah, so like even on today's post today being March 10th, But I posted about like you'll do more in life if you stop worrying about what the people think. And
Yeah.
that's going back to comparing yourself to others, right?
Yeah.
And people are just scared, right? People are people, they're like, oh, what are they gonna think about me? They're gonna laugh, or people like public speaking, this and that. We get it. We all feel that way, right? We're all shy. We're all getting nervous. Out in
Yeah.
college, oh my God, would I have to get up and go present my research paper or something like that, or a presentation? I will get, oh my God, I would get so hot. My body would get so hot. I would start sweating, or like I get anxiety, go crazy. Like, and then after you do it, you're like, damn, like it wasn't that bad, Like you got through it and stuff, and then you learn something about yourself, and then
Yeah.
maybe you learn how to do something, right? An easier way.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You
you
get
know,
better at it, basically, right?
exactly.
Time you figure, okay, it
Yeah.
wasn't that bad, and then the next time you do it, you take what you learned from that first time, and you're
Mhm.
better.
Exactly. And and now that we're talking about this, it's like I'm trying to set that motto into my after journey of getting back on the bike again. Cause like I said, a lot of people just give up after the first time. And after experiencing an accident for the first time, as crazy as it was for me, it's hard to get back into something where it can happen again, right? After experience it, right? So it's like, maybe I got lucky this time. Maybe I shouldn't try my luck again, So
It's a fine line, between thinking
exactly.
that way and the other way. But you learned from the accident, right? So when you get back on the bike, you'll have more in your toolbox to, I guess, react on the road. You'll be more aware of what's going on around you, I think.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, just going back to, that it's definitely something not easy to decide to get back on. I don't know. And I look at all these people that get back on again after that accident, especially people that, uh gone through like really bad accidents. It's just like I don't know. When you care about like you have family or you have kids, and you don't want to be like a burden to your family because you got hurt really bad and you can't do something anymore. Like all those things come to your mind, and it's like,
Yeah.
and even after experiencing it, and it's just like, damn, man, like I don't know, like do I really want to do this again, but then I look at what I built, and
Mm.
I guess at the end of the day is, are you afraid of dying? So that's the question. Are you scared of dying? So yeah, I mean that I want to get back on for sure, but there's just a lot of overthinking that goes along with that, because do I put myself first, or my family and my future and stuff like that? Do I want to be
Yeah.
happy, or stuff like that? So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, so
Like, yeah. Because, I
it's
mean,
crazy.
it is. It's not just you as the rider. You know what I mean? There's all the other elements, the cars, especially.
Yeah, it's not just you. It's not always the
No.
biker's fault, everybody. It's not always the biker's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, people just don't know how to drive. People just don't know how to drive.
I am with you 100% on that. Over here,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's crazy. Like, people will actually try to run me down off. I didn't even do anything to them, and they
Yeah, you
just
posted a
are.
video about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's
Yeah.
not the only one. I wish I could. I wish I had the mount in the back, because that's when we see everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Wait,
But I
can
don't
can
know.
you explain what happened though in that
Well,
video?
okay. So, yeah. So it was a merge. Like, I'm merging onto the end of the freeway. So the freeway ends
Mhm.
there, and it goes through just like a two-street, two-lane, that comes to an intersection with a
Mhm.
stoplight. So I'm merging onto that, and properly, because there was a car coming. So I made myself at a speed where I'm pacing so I can get behind that car and in front of the other one, which was kind of far back, which was the truck. So he was kind of far back. And there were other cars in back of me merging on as well. So when I merged in, I had another biker with me, and he's like bag with me, but we didn't know that the stop was right there. So it was kind of a hard break. And it was no problem. We braked in time. Nothing happened, nothing crazy. And then the truck that was coming up in back, because we merged in front of him, I feel like he kind of got irritated, because it just happened so much where people get irritated just because a biker went in front of you. And he he sped up in back of us, not knowing that there's a stop, that cars are stopped. And so when he sped up, he either couldn't stop in time in back of us, or he purposely came close to change lanes right in back. Literally, I could have touched the bumper of his truck. It's just the camera doesn't show like how close it was, you know? But it was either like I think it was a tactic to scare me, honestly. Like he saw us merge on and then he was like, damn, these bikers. And then he just, smashed it.
Does
And
it show the video that you posted? Does it show justice? Like, is it like you can clearly see that he was trying to merge?
well, you know why? Because you can't even see him in the beginning of the video because he was so far away. He was
Yeah.
so far away and he sped up. That's why he became so close all of a sudden because he sped up. And then he changed lanes last minute to scare me because I was on the left side of the lane and he lanes left. So it was almost like a swoop in back of me, you know?
Damn.
Yeah. So, and it happens a lot. Like, that's not the only time. I really wish I had more footage of, like, to show exactly how it happened. I could only explain it through words, which it's hard for people, to understand that it happened to you. Like, I think if it happened to you, then you understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like there's just so much you can do on a bike, like you can't just like maneuver to the right so fast and then go back to lane, you can't really do that. Like once you go one side, it's gonna take you a while to go back to the other side,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's just so much that you can do on a bike you can't do on a car. I'm saying like
Yeah, yeah. So
crazy.
it was just all the elements that came together. So, because the other biker was with me, I didn't have space to get right. And then I didn't want to go left because I figured he was going to go left too. And that wouldn't have been any better because we both would have went left.
Yeah.
So and then another good thing about it was the cars that were merging in back of me knew.
Mhm.
So even though the truck sped up, they weren't going as fast as him. If they
Mhm.
were, and he dipped out like that, then they would still be going that speed and wouldn't have been able to stop in time. I think people just irritated at my scream, but that was my real, like, I was really scared. Like, saw him because every time I come to a stop, I check my mirrors. I'm like head on a swivel.
Yeah.
And when I seen him speed up and he was like the front of his truck was coming at me so fast, I screamed and I like
Yeah.
inched my way as right as I could.
Did you guys like do eye contact? Like
No, I mean, no, it was just so fast. It was so
Yeah.
fast. It was funny too because he was going at his speed and then he dipped out and then he had to stop in the lane that he went into. So he basically sped up for nothing. We couldn't do nothing. And that's the frustrating part too about being, on the bike. Yeah. Unless you have like brass knuckles or something, you really can't do it. But I'm
Yeah.
scared to like, I'm scared to like do something like that and then I fuck up. Like I mess up my riding or something because I wanted to try hit a mirror,
That's true. That's true. So, I really appreciate you being here. I am so speechless to the fact that we are starting a podcast, right? Um, to have different personalities and stories and ideas like paranormal stuff and conspiracy theories and a lot of stuff, everyday life, mental health, why we started writing and stuff like that. Um, it's gonna be so much fun, right? And I cannot wait to show the world, that the different stories that we have as bikers, but also as people and what we experience and stuff like that. So it's gonna be fun. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support from everybody. And until next time, right? Mona?
Thank you so much for having me on your podcast today. And thank you to everyone watching or listening and everybody who bought merch. Oh my God. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Appreciate all the support on that merch. But yeah.
I think it's
Yeah,
going to be so cool to see people with the merch on. Like, I just can't wait.
I cannot. That's exactly what I'm like so like impatient. Like I want to see what people look like on the merch, and I want to see how the merch comes out, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
gonna be buying the merch soon too. I have some ideas of what I'm gonna be doing with some videos and stuff. So for sure, gonna be doing something with the merch.
Yeah.
Some pictures, stuff like that. So
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
excited. I
we'll
got
figure
like
it out. We'll see. We'll see.
director of my video down.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. So yeah, appreciate it. Thank you for listening, everybody. Again, and until the next one, right?
Yeah.
So
Stay
that's
safe.
it. All right, bye guys.
Peace.